Why did James Gunn lie about this aspect of Creature Commandos? Or did he really? Here's the full story. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Stan Lee's cameos were one iconic aspect of the Marvel Universe, so it is only natural that fans wondered if James Gunn would do something similar in Creature Commandos, his debut project for the new DC Universe. When asked, Gunn flat-out denied any plans for a cameo, leaving fans to believe he'd stay behind the curtains. But lo and behold, there he was, making an appearance. So, why did Gunn lie? Here's the full story. James Gunn, who is extremely excited to start this new era of the DC Universe, has been keeping fans engaged on Threads, where he regularly answers their burning questions. In the lead-up to Creature Commandos, one curious fan asked if Gunn would appear on-screen himself, perhaps in a classic cameo. To that, Gunn gave a clear and blunt no, putting the speculation to rest. But fast forward to the show's release, and fans were both shocked and surprised to spot him in the animated intro sequence. While the cameo wasn't exactly what they'd envisioned, it was enough to spark a discussion online. As expected, fans had plenty to say about this. Here's what they said, but the real reason behind it is a little more layered. While technically this doesn't count as a traditional cameo as he did in Harley Quinn, Gunn didn't exactly lie when he said he wouldn't appear. It turns out the animated James Gunn in the intro was a surprise, even to him. So, while he might have kept fans in the dark, he too got caught off guard by this twist. The opening credits of Creature Commandos introduce its quirky team of monsters, including Rick Flag Sr., Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein, and more, plus one unexpected face, an animated James Gunn. Gunn, who wrote every episode, pops up in every intro. In a chat with Entertainment Weekly, Gunn explained, "I don't think that I'm going to pop up in Creature Commandos. Dean did that to me. He thought he was doing me a favor, and now I'm going to be forever accused of putting myself in the opening credits." The animated James Gunn featured in the opening credits of Creature Commandos wasn't his own doing. It was the work of producer Dean Lorey. So, when fans asked Gunn if he'd be appearing in the series, he genuinely said no. Fans are excited to find out what else the team has up their sleeves. James Gunn has made it clear that he will not follow in the footsteps of Christopher Nolan or Zack Snyder when it comes to the DCU unless it's cool. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn had the oddest choice to kick off his DCU with Creature Commandos. However, the show has managed to wow fans and critics, giving audiences a peek into what the DC Universe is going to look like under his and Peter Zasla's supervision. Creature Commandos might have been an odd place to start for the DCU, but James Gunn has made it abundantly clear that he would not go the generic route with starting a DC shared universe either. Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan might have indulged themselves in this trope, but James Gunn is sure that it just does not have a place in the DCU. James Gunn spoke to Josh Horowitz about his DC universe. It is common knowledge that Gunn's Superman will not be an origin story. It is also expected that the DCU's Batman, which will star Damian Wayne, will also be a story that is steeped in the history of Batman's mythology. Gunn revealed that he is actually sick of seeing the origin story for three superheroes, given that they are as iconic as they come, and given that there have been so many iterations of them. He said, "I am myself sick of seeing both Superman and Batman's and Spider-Man's. I'm sick of seeing those three origin stories. I don't need to see them again for a long time." A slew of superhero fans believe what James Gunn is saying is more than a little true. Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man are arguably the most iconic superheroes in the genre, and making origin stories about them is simply wasting time and money, along with the attention of the audience. However, James Gunn has also said that he is not completely opposed to the idea, so long as the treatment of the event is cool and well executed. In a trailer looking at the weeks ahead with Creature Commandos, a glimpse of the future might have been revealed by James Gunn. As Cersei engages the members of Task Force M, audiences see a glimpse of a future where Superman is crucified, with multiple heroes impaled dead behind the Man of Steel. With this image, it can be gauged that there might be more meaning to calling the first chapter of the DCU Gods and Monsters and beginning its journey with Creature Commandos. The future that is in store for the heroes, according to the still from the trailer, might function as a prophecy for the wider DCU. And given that Rick Flag Sr. will also make an appearance in Superman, could possibly set up the conflict for this saga in the DC universe. Despite DC's saturated gallery of heroes and villains, Arrowverse contains a unique roster of characters that James Gunn would be foolish to ignore. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. The DCU is going through a considerable shift in its overarching structure. With James Gunn at the helm, the filmmaker who can make even the strangest and weirdest characters into pop culture favorites, has taken bold steps to ensure that the DCU does not meet the same fate as its predecessor. In turn, fan anticipation has reached a record high, as those still in love with the Snyderverse want to see Gunn falter, while others are more open to new experiences. There exists a third category of fans who want to see a merging of the old world with the new. At a DC fan convention, the latter fandom's dream came true when one Arrowverse actor reached out to James Gunn. Although the highly decorated Arrowverse came to an official end with Superman and Lois, the CW Multiversal Project was once the most expansive and glorious DC project that existed outside of the film industry. With characters from all sections of the comic lore taking up residence in Greg Berlanti's interconnected universe, there was no cap on how far the storylines could stretch to give the audiences the best possible experience. The Flash was one of those shows that marked a watershed moment in DC's evolution. It becomes difficult to remember an era before Grant Gustin donned the red suit and barreled into our lives. With iconic villains and poignant character arcs, The Flash was anything but monotonous or repetitive. Understandably, it was a solemn moment when the series bid its final adieu. However, all hope is not lost, as one of the Arrowverse stars who was a regular cast member in The Flash reached out to DC Studios chief James Gunn with an offer hard to refuse. Tom Cavanaugh, who portrays Harrison Wells / Eobard Thawne aka Reverse Flash in Arrowverse, offered himself up for the job after a fan asked if he would ever consider returning to the role. "Yes, James Gunn, James, where are you?" "James, I'm right here, pretty solidly built, still athletic. You know, not the youngest cat, but pretty good, pretty fast on their feet. I can move pretty good. I would love to work for you, Gunn. I hear all this stuff on social media about Grant Gustin. Come on, he's got a job." Although Cavanaugh replied in jest in order to avert giving a definitive answer to the question, his comments reached James Gunn after fans brought it to his attention. Gunn kept his reaction ambiguous. Ultimately, the power lies in the hands of the DC Studios chief himself concerning whether any of the Arrowverse characters can resume their journey in the mainstream timeline. However, given how strict Gunn has been about giving DCU a fresh start without confusing or relating it with its previous iterations, it seems highly unlikely for Tom Cavanaugh to reappear as Reverse Flash in the near future.